Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having a lovely morning or afternoon or even whenever you are watching this particular video. So guys, today's video, I was supposed to be doing this video with my sister, but our schedules are just too busy. So I thought I'll just come and do it by myself. So I just wanted to talk about planning a wedding in Ghana whilst you're in the UK. My goodness. My goodness. So I'm just gonna have a conversation with you guys. Where do you begin, right? Like, I think first of all, you have to actually decide if you ever want to do a destination wedding, because having a destination wedding is a whole different ball game. Doing a wedding in your home country is more relaxing because you're more aware of you're more aware of your surroundings, you know things, you know where things are. But when you're doing it in a destination place, you are kind of out of control because you have to learn how that country does things, and you just need to know how the country does things and how people do things, and obviously finding people for different things like vendors and stuff like that, which I'll get into. So it's not easy. So you have to first decide if you and your partner want to do a destination wedding. Like, if it's always something that you've wanted, then fair enough. I've always wanted to get married in Ghana. I've always loved like the idea of being married in Ghana, because one, the weather is always great. That's like the main reason why, if I'm being honest with you. The weather is great. Like, if I was to do my wedding in this country and let's say I'm praying for a great day and it rains, I'm miserable. I am so miserable because everything has to be done inside. I didn't want to also have an indoor indoor wedding. I wanted an outdoor wedding, which I got. Initially I wanted a garden wedding, but because I got married during COVID period, there was no such thing as that. And I just want to say, like, shout out to all my lovely ladies all couples that got married during the COVID period. Leave down in the comment section below if you didn't get married during the COVID period, would things have been done differently? For me, even though it wasn't like the dream wedding that I'd always dreamt of, but my wedding was amazing. My wedding was beautiful. It's something I look at every day, and I look at the pictures and I'm just like, wow, this happened. Because the stress, at some point I was just like, is this actually going to happen? Or is it, I don't think it's even, at some point I was like, I don't think it's happening because the restrictions. All right guys, Boris is about to speak and I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous because I'm just like, am I actually going to be able to go to Ghana? So let me go and quickly listen to what he's saying.
We need to do more together to bring this new variant under control while our vaccines are rolled out. In England, we must therefore go into a national lockdown which is tough enough to contain this variant. That means the government is once again instructing you to stay at home. You may only leave home for limited reasons permitted in law, such as to shop for essentials, to work if you absolutely cannot work from home, to exercise.
So guys, the word is on the streets. So now it looks like they're getting more strict with the lockdown in the UK. We are going into March last year kind of lockdown. Guys, my makeup still looks a bit crazy, but give me some time. I was panicking, like, because I'm just like, guys, I'm going to be a whole wife and I have to go and see my husband. I have to come back a wife. I've waited for a whole year and I've been patient, God knows. So they haven't said the borders are shut, but literally we can only go to the food shop to go and get food, and that's about it. Essential shops are not opening. The people trying to get things done, if you don't, so it was stressful because it was stressful for so many reasons. One, because obviously we got married during the pandemic. It was during the pandemic. The rules were changing, like Ghana was on lockdown at some point. We had to wait until they had lifted everything. The UK was on lockdown. We had to wait when everything was lifted up. Didn't know if you could travel, the COVID test, the cost, you know, already doing a destination wedding is very expensive, because you got to think of your travel, you got to think of your family who's going to come with you, your friends, you know, and taking everything back there and everything else. So that was very, very stressful, because I couldn't have all of my family there because of how, you know, things were very tight and very difficult. So I even wanted to like push the dates, but unfortunately I couldn't, you know, because it was like, I want to be married now. I do not want to wait, because one thing I had, me and my partner, what we noticed about the whole pandemic and stuff like that, when an opportunity comes, you have to grab it, because you never know when the opportunity is going to come again, or it might not even come again. So we both strongly wanted to get married, and we noticed that people were getting married. So it was like, why, what makes us different? Like, yeah, we're not going to have the grand massive wedding, but we just want to be together and start our lives, you know, together. So we had to take that all into consideration, because obviously he had family overseas and I also had family overseas. But we had to look at the numbers, because in Ghana there was also a restriction of how many people we could have. I think at the time we could only have, I think, under 100 people or less than that. And before we tried to stick to 50 people, so 25 from his side, 25 from my side, which was, I knew it was never gonna happen. But later on they had changed the restrictions, Ghana did, and they made it 100 people. So before, when we were planning the wedding, there was like, we thought, okay, maybe it's gonna be 10 people at the wedding, because the way things are going, we can't have anyone at the wedding. But then they changed it to nothing more than 100, I believe. So we had roughly about like almost 100 people at our wedding, and we couldn't even have everyone. So it was, yeah, it was a tough one, you know, like some of my friends couldn't come and all that kind of stuff. But hey, it is what it is, do you know what I mean? But the most important thing is that I got married to the love of my life, and that's what really matters. And I had some of my families to witness, and we tried to stream it online as well. That was another shambles, because Ghana, again, having to do with the Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff, and it was shambles, it was shambolic. But we still managed to make it work. Obviously we had the video, so we shared it with the family and stuff like that, so they got to see it even though they weren't there to actually witness it. But yeah, we did what we can. That was literally the most important thing we could do, only do what we can. And another thing that was just so annoying, like we planned to have a DJ, and the DJ got arrested last minute. Oh God. We were like, we have paid for you to come and DJ at our wedding. What do you mean you've gone into prison? And it's for a stupid reason. Like, it's not because he done something bad. I think he didn't pay something or something stupid like that. So we had to find a DJ the day before the wedding. Listen, guys, the day before the wedding, there's a lot of things that happened the day before or a few days before the wedding. You know, obviously when I showed you guys on my channel, you guys obviously seen the nice side, but there were so many things that went behind the scenes that, boy, it was hard, it was stressful. And especially if you're from the UK, you're British born, everything British about you, and you're gonna do a traditional wedding, because I did the traditional wedding. There are so many rules, so many traditions and stuff like that, and you're just like, is all of this important? Is it necessary? Do you know what I mean? I just want to get married to my husband and call it a day. Like, to do this tradition, to do that tradition. But if you want to have a smooth wedding, because you have to realize as well that, yes, as much as it's you and your partner that's getting married, the whole family is also involved, right? You're not just also marrying your partner, you're also marrying your partner's family. And so that sometimes can be a bit tricky if it's something that you're not used to. It could be overwhelming at times. And if you are doing a traditional wedding, you do have to listen to your family, even though sometimes you're just like, this does not make sense. But because it's part of the tradition and it's protocol and it's the way to go, you have to do it. There were some things that me and my husband were like, what's the meaning of this? But we just still had to go with it, because at the end of the day, we want to get married. So let's not, you know, because already planning a wedding is stressful. And one tip I would say is that if you're planning a wedding, if you're like me, the thing is, I'm organized when it comes to certain things. So like when it comes to like planning things in advance, I'm your girl. So that was one thing that I did. So as soon as we knew that we wanted to get married, I started planning for that year. So I started doing things way in advance. Like I started looking at my dress way in advance. And you know, you might be thinking, but oh my gosh, you're gonna probably put on weight or you're gonna lose weight. And I said to myself, that's another stress that I would not add to myself, because you know, it's always that thing where you want, when a woman's getting married, she always wants to lose weight. What happened to just loving yourself the way you are? Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with trying to lose weight, because I did try to lose a bit of weight, which I did, but I didn't want to lose too much weight that when I look at my pictures, I'm like, who's that? I still wanted to look like me, like right now. So I bought my dress early, even though there were still issues with that. I managed to get my dress early. Yeah, so I bought my dress online because that was the only way I could get my dress, because we were limited. In fact, we couldn't go to any shops. So me and my mom, we didn't get that chance to do the, you know, try on the dress, and then my mom will cry, because that's what I wanted. I wanted her to cry, but I didn't get any of that. I had to just literally look online, pray for the size that is right, and it being delivered to my doorstep. So, you know, it was a very different way of planning a wedding. And if you are related that this is not how you wanted your marriage, or your wedding to be like, you have to really look back and consider what's more important in life. Is it actual how the wedding looks like, or is it you and your husband being married and actually living your married life? You know what I mean? There was a lot of things that even myself I had to take into consideration, that yes, it's not the dream wedding, but the most important thing is that we are marrying because we want to be together and our families are in full support. And you know, that's the most important thing. So it was a lot of always looking at your priorities, looking at what's most important. You know, if you don't have this particular flower, are you going to die? Is it the end of the world? So there was a lot of things I had to take into consideration. Yeah, so I did a lot of things early. Things that what me and my husband did as well is that things that I could be in control of, I made sure I was in control of. And whatever my husband could be in control of, he did that. And then we also did things together, so that it made things easier, so that you don't feel like one is doing everything. But then again, you know, everybody and their relationship is different. There's some people who are just like the provider, or doesn't know how to plan anything and just lets the woman or the man get on with it. So it all depends, and you have to come to an agreement with you and your partner how you want to plan it, because that can be another stress as well. Because at times, you know, you will butt heads with your partner, because you're just like, I like this, let's do it this way. No, I want to do it this way. Blah 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 blah. So you have those kind of things, but at the end of the day, you have to calm down and just be like, look, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Let's not stress, you know. And yeah, man. Planning a wedding in Ghana is stressful. Oh, and also vendor. I was so blessed, because my family relative, my cousin, she actually runs a decor business. So everything was done by her. I didn't have to, even though it was stressful, I mean, trying to get things, want it this way, you know, it was difficult. Everything was difficult because of this current situation that we were in. You know, we're very limited to things and stuff like that. So you just had to make do with what you have, you know, and finding like wanting to have a venue and all that kind of stuff. And certain places weren't open in Ghana, and obviously I wasn't there, so I had to obviously leave that for my partner, which was great, because if me and my partner were both here and having to like now try to look for things in Ghana, that would have been a different case. But I didn't have to stress about that. If I wanted something, my husband just sorted that out, because obviously he was in Ghana, so that was a blessing. And obviously my other family relatives were all there as well, so you know, if it was something that he couldn't get, my cousins and aunties and stuff like that were all there to help. And you know, your family are there to help, you know, and your friends are there to help. If you're like me, you feel like you're used to doing things by yourself, you need to also learn how to delegate. If you're not used to doing that, that's something that you should do. But I think I've spoken about everything planning a wedding during a pandemic. It is stressful. It's a lot of work. It's worth it. But yeah, guys. So I was gonna say, oh, if you're planning a pandemic wedding, you know, watch this video. But by God's grace, we are getting out of this nonsense. We've all had enough of this nonsense. You know what I mean? But yeah, I could talk about it because I had a pandemic wedding. Shout out to all my wedding brides. Shout out to all my pandemic wedding brides. We did the damn thing. You know, we made it work. We made it work. We looked beautiful. We're happy, and we are still living our lives. And that's the most important thing. So guys, we've come to the end of the video. So if you haven't seen my wedding, or if you haven't seen a couple of days before, I'm going to leave a video here. Go and click it, go and watch it and enjoy it. And please subscribe to be part of the tribe. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay blessed and God bless. Mwah.